Build fluency through real-life conversation habits. Hello and welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about one simple habit that can completely change the way you speak English. Not complicated grammar, not difficult vocabulary, just one powerful habit. Real-life conversation practice. If you want to speak fluently, you must practice speaking the way people actually talk in daily life. Many learners spend years studying rules. They memorize grammar charts. They read textbooks. But when it's time to speak, they freeze. Why? Because speaking is a habit. And habits are built through repetitions. In this episode, you are practicing conversation with Tom. Tom speaks clearly. Tom speaks naturally. Tom uses simple, real-life English. And this is important, because fluency does not come from difficult words. It comes from familiar patterns. When you hear common sentence structures again and again, your brain begins to remember them automatically. For example, how was your day? It was pretty good. What did you do? I went to work. These are simple sentences, but they are powerful because they are used every day. The more you hear them, the more you repeat them, the more natural they become. And one day, you won't think before answering. You will just respond. That is fluency. Fluency is not speaking fast. Fluency is speaking smoothly, without long pauses, without translating in your head. Real-life conversation habits help you react faster. When Tom asks a question, pause the audio. Answer it yourself. Even if your answer is short. Even if it's simple. For example, Tom might say, "What do you usually do in the morning?" Pause. Now answer. I wake up at 7. I drink coffee. I check my phone. Simple. Clear. Real. When you practice this daily, something changes in your brains. You stop preparing perfect sentences. You start communicating naturally. And that is the goal. Another important thing about conversation practice is emotional connections. When you practice real dialogue, you are not just repeating words. You are imagining a real situation. You imagine talking to a friend, to a coworker, to a classmate. This makes your English feel alive. And when English feels alive, you remember it better. Conversation English is different from textbook English. In real life, people use contractions. They use short answers. They use casual phrases. Instead of, "I am going to go to the supermarket," people say, "I'm gonna go to the store." Instead of, "I do not know," people say, "I don't know." When you practice with Tom, you train your ears to hear these natural forms. And you train your mouth to say them comfortably. That comfort builds confidence. And confidence builds fluency. Now, let's talk about consistency. You cannot practice once a week and expect big improvement. Conversation is a skill, like playing an instrument, like exercising. If you practice a little every day, you improve faster. Even 15 minutes of conversation practice daily can make a big difference. Listen, repeat, pause, answer. Do it again tomorrow, and again the next day. Little by little, your responses become automatic. You won't search for words as much. You won't feel as nervous. You'll notice that simple questions become easy. And that feeling is powerful, because success creates motivation. Also, don't be afraid of simple English. Many learners think they need advanced vocabulary to sound fluent. But native speakers use simple English most of the time. Fluency is about comfort and clarity, not complexity. If you can answer basic daily questions confidently, you are building a strong foundation. And strong foundations support advanced skills later. So today I encourage you make conversation practice a daily habit. Talk to Tom. Talk to yourself. Talk out loud. Answer questions. Ask questions. Imagine real situations. Don't wait for a perfect speaking partner. You can build fluency alone. One conversation at a time. One simple sentence at a time. Remember this, every fluent speaker started with basic conversations. How are you? What did you do today? Where are you from? Simple questions, simple answers, repeated many times. And now, it's your turn. Practice actively. Speak confidently. Keep it simple. Keep it consistent. And slowly, naturally, fluently, your English will grow. Keep going. You are building the habit that leads to real conversation success. And that habit will change everything. Key point 21: improve listening skills with easy, clear English. Welcome back. Today, we're focusing on something extremely important for fluency. Listening. Not fast listening, not difficult listening, but easy, clear, focused listening. Many English learners believe speaking is the most important skill. But speaking grows from listening. If you cannot hear English clearly, it becomes very hard to speak confidently. Think about it this way. Before you learned to speak your first language, you listened. For months, for years. For years, you listened to sounds, tone, to rhythms, to repeated phrases, and slowly, naturally, speaking followed. The same thing happens with English. When you listen to clear, simple conversations, your brain begins to recognize patterns. You start understanding common questions instantly. For example, how are you? What did you do today? Are you busy? These questions become automatic. You don't need to translate. You just understand. And that instant understanding is powerful. That is what we are training today. When you listen to Tom speaking slowly and clearly, don't just try to understand the meaning. Listen to the sounds. Listen to how words connect. Listen to how sentences rise and fall. English has rhythm. It is not flat. Some words are strong. Some words are soft. For example, I went to the store yesterday. You'll notice the important words are stronger. Went. Store. Yesterday. The small words are softer. To. This rhythm helps you understand spoken English faster. When you train your ears with ease, while listening practice, you improve your reaction time. Reaction time is very important in conversation. If someone asks you a question, you don't want to spend 5 seconds trying to understand it. You want your brain to recognize it immediately. Easy listening helps build that speed. Now, here is something important. Do not always choose difficult audio. If the audio is too fast or too advanced, your brain becomes stressed. You feel frustrated. You lose motivations. Instead, choose listening material that feels comfortable. Material where you understand 70 to 80%. That is the perfect level. It challenges you slightly, but it doesn't overwhelm you. When you listen to Tom's clear English, you are training your ear in a safe environment. You are building confidence, and confidence helps learning grow faster. Here is a simple method you can use during listening practice. First, just listen. Don't read. Don't pause. Just listen to understand the main idea. Second, listen again. This time focus on details. Notice pronunciation. Notice connected speech. Third, listen and repeat. Pause after sentences. Say them out loud. Copy the rhythm. Copy the tone. This 3-step method strengthens both listening and speaking together. Another powerful habit is predicting. Before Tom finishes a sentence, try to guess what he will say next. For example, if he says, "Yesterday, I went to," you might guess the supermarket, the gym, the park. This prediction exercise keeps your brain active. Active listening is much more powerful than passive listenings. Also, remember this, it is okay if you don't understand every word. Even native speakers don't always hear every single word clearly. Focus on understanding the message, the idea, the feeling. Listening is not about perfection. It is about comprehension, and comprehension improves with repetitions. If you listen to the same short conversation 5 times, you will understand more each time. The first time, maybe 60%. The second time, 75%. The third time, 90%. Repetition builds familiarity, and familiarity builds confidence. Over time, your ears become sharper. You recognize common phrases instantly. You understand natural speed more easily. You stop feeling nervous when someone speaks English to you, because your brain has already heard similar patterns many times, and that is the goal, to make English sound normal, not scary, not confusing, just normal. So today, slow down, choose clear audio, listen actively, repeat confidently, and trust the process. Listening is not passive. It is powerful training. Every minute you spend listening carefully is building your future fluency. Your ears are learning, your brain is adapting, your confidence is growing. Keep listening, keep repeating, keep improving, and soon you will notice something amazing. English conversations will start to feel easier, more natural, more comfortable, and when listening becomes easy, speaking becomes possible. You're not just hearing English, you're preparing to speak it. One clear sentence at a time. Develop confidence by speaking along. Welcome back. Now we are going to talk about something that changes everything. Confidence. Not perfect grammar, not a perfect accent. Confidence. Many English learners understand a lot. They can read, they can listen, they can even write. But when it's time to speak, they feel nervous. Their heart beats faster. Their mind goes blank. Why does this happen? Because understanding English and speaking English are 2 different skills. Speaking requires courage, and courage grows with practice. That is why speaking along during conversation practice is so powerful. When you listen to Tom and repeat after him, you are not just copying words. You are training your voice. You are training your reactions. You are training your confidence. Speaking along may feel strange at first. Maybe you feel shy. Maybe you feel silly speaking alone in your room. But remember, this growth often feels uncomfortable in the beginning, and that discomfort is a sign that you are improving. When Tom asks a question, don't just listen. Pause the audio, answer out loud. For example, Tom might say, "What did you do this weekend?" Pause. Now speak. "I stayed home. I visited my friend. I watched a movie." It doesn't need to be long. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be spoken. When you speak out loud, something powerful happens. Your brain connects thoughts to sound. Your mouth practices forming words. Your ears hear your own English. This creates a feedback loop, and that loop builds confidence. Many learners stay silent because they are afraid of making mistakes, but mistakes are part of learning. Even native speakers make mistakes. The difference is, they keep speaking. Silence does not build fluency. Speaking builds fluency. Even imperfect speaking. In fact, imperfect speaking is better than perfect silence. Another important reason to speak along is muscle memory. Your mouth is not used to making certain English sounds. Some sounds may not exist in your native language. If you don't practice saying them, they will always feel difficult. But when you repeat sentences daily, your mouth becomes stronger, more flexible, more natural. And slowly, pronunciation becomes easier. Speaking along also improves speed. At first, you may speak slowly. You may pause often. That's okay. Speed comes later. First, build comfort. Then build rhythm. Then speed will grow naturally. Confidence grows step by step. not overnight. Here is a simple strategy you can use. First, listen to a short sentence. Second, repeat it exactly. Third, say it again without looking or listening. Try to remember it. This strengthens memory and fluency. Now let's talk about fear. Fear of judgment. So, unding strange. Fear of making errors. When you practice alone, there is no judgment. No one is watching. No one is correcting you. This is your safe training space. Use it. Make mistakes here. Experiment here. Practice boldly here. So when you speak in real conversations, you feel prepared. Think of it like training for a sport. Athletes practice many times before the real game. You are doing the same. Every time you speak along with Tom, you are preparing for real conversations, for job interviews, for travel, for meeting new people, and every small practice session adds strength to your confidence. Another helpful idea is positive self-talk. After you practice speaking, say to yourself, "I did well. I spoke clearly. I am improving." Encourage yourself, because confidence grows where encouragement exists, not where criticism lives. Also, celebrate small progress. Did you answer faster today than yesterday? Did you pronounce a word better? Did you feel less nervous? That is improvement. Notice it. Appreciate it. Fluency is not about sounding like someone from another country. It is about expressing your thoughts clearly and comfortably. Your accent is part of who you are. Your goal is clarity and confidence. And confidence comes from repetition, from speaking, from trying again. So today, don't just listen. Participate. Pause the audio. Answer the questions. Repeat the sentences. Speak with energy. Speak with belief. Even if your voice shakes a little. Even if your sentence is simple. That is how confidence is built, not by waiting, but by doing. One spoken sentence at a time. Keep practicing. Keep speaking. Keep believing in your progress. Because the more you speak, the more confident you become. And the more confident you become, the more fluent you will sound. Your voice matters, and it deserves to be heard.